Hi there, Mr. Muhammed is here. Welcome to another tutorial. In this video, we're going to solve this past paper. This is May June 2022, paper 2 extended. Let's start. Question 1. At noon, the temperature is 4. At midnight, the temperature is -9. Find the difference. The difference is 4 minus -9. It's equal to 13. So the answer is 13. Question 2. Thibault records the number of cars of each color in a car park. Okay, we have this table. He draws a pie chart to show this information. Calculate the sector angle for red. Okay, to find each sector angle in pie chart, we need to follow these steps. Step 1, find the total frequency. 8 plus 5, 13, plus 4, 17, plus 3, 20. The total frequency is 20. One full pie chart has 360 degrees. So we divide 360 by 20. This is step 2. Step 1, find total frequency. Step 2, 360 divide by 20. 360 divided by 20 is 18. Divide 20. Yeah, it's 18. So, yeah, this 18 means one single car is 18 degrees on the pie chart. What about 3 cars of red? Because we want to find the sector angle for red. So to find the sector angle of red, we're going to say 3 times 18. 3 times 18 is 54. So the answer is 54. Figs cost 43 cents each. Lyra has $5 to buy some figs. Calculate the largest number of figs Lyra can buy and the amount of change in cents she receives. Okay, she has $5. $5 is 500 cents. So you're going to divide 500 cents by 43. See how many full 43s are in 500. 500 divide 43 is equal to 11.627. So we want the 11. She can buy 11 figs, and let's see how much does it cost to buy 11 figs. 11 times 43 is 473 cents, and she has 500 cents in total. 473. 500 minus 473. 500 minus 473 is 27. The answer is 27. Question 4. It's just calculator because calculator is allowed. So we try to get the best benefit from calculator possible. Square root 68 times square root 153. Before you press equal, just check, did you write the same thing? Yes. Sometimes this multiplication goes under, and these numbers look, the roots, the radicals, they must look the same as the ones in the question. That's 102. Question 5. Find the total surface area of a cuboid with lengths 8, 6 by 3. Let's draw a rough sketch of such cuboid. This is a rough sketch. Now we know the length is 8. The width, this is the width, is 6. And the height is 3. Now we have 3 types of rectangles. The first rectangle is this, which is 8 by 6. and we have two identical rectangles in the size 8 by 6. So to find total surface area, we find the area of all the 6 rectangles of the cuboid, but the rectangles are identical, the opposite ones are identical, so we calculated once 2 times 8 times 6. This is for up and down. For the front and back, this rectangle, this little rectangle, is 6 by 3, so we have 2 times 6 by 3, and the other rectangle is 8 by 3. This rectangle is 8 by 3, so 2 times 8 times 3. We add them, we will get the total surface area. 6 times 8, 48, times 2, 96. 96. 6 times 3, 18, times 2, 36. 8 times 3, 24, times 2, 48. Now add them, it will be the total surface area. 96 plus 36 plus 48. 180. Question 6. Some cards have either a square, a circle, or a triangle drawn on them. Page chooses one of the cards at random. Complete the table to show the probability of choosing a card with a shape. Square is 0.2, circle is 0.32, triangle is missing. Okay, the options we have are only square, circle, triangle. There is nothing else. That's why these probabilities must add up to 1. Now we know 2 of them. We can easily find the third one. Let's add them. 0.2 plus 0.32, it's equal to 0.52, and then 1 minus 0.52 is 0.48, so triangle is 0.48. Question 7. The price of a coat is $126. In a sale, the price is reduced by 18%. Find the sale price. Okay, so we just have to calculate 18% of 126 and then 126 minus the result of the step. To do the percentage in calculator, we just multiply the two numbers. 18 times 126 divide 100 is equal to 22.68. So 126, the price will reduce by $22.68, and the new price is 126 minus 22.68. The sale price or the new price is 103.32. Question 8. Nth term of a sequence is n squared plus 12. Find the first 3 terms of this sequence. Okay, term 1, we replace n by 1. This is for term 1. We replace n by 2 to find term 2, and we replace n by 3 to find the third term. Okay, if we write 1 in place of this n, 1 squared is 1 plus 12 is 13. If we write 2 in place of n, it will be 2 squared, 4 plus 12, 16. And if we write 3 in place of n, 3 squared is 9. 9 plus 12 is 21. Question 9 is bearing. The bearing of B from A. This from means from the north of A. to the line that goes to B, this angle is 59 degrees. We need to find the opposite, which is the bearing from B to A, or the bearing of A from B. Bearing of A from B, we need to draw the north of B. Then there is a relation between these two interior angles. These two angles, they add up to 180. Okay, this angle is 59. 180 minus 59 is 121. So this angle here is 121 degrees. Okay, why we need this angle? This angle is not the bearing, but this angle will help us to find the actual bearing, which is this side is bearing from B to A. And you know this angle 121 and this outer angle together, they add up to 360. So to find bearing of A from B, we just say 360 minus 121 and see the result. 360 minus 121, it's equal to 239. Vectors. This is vector P, this is vector Q. Find P minus Q. P minus Q, we just subtract the corresponding numbers. We will have 2 minus -1, 8 minus 4. It is equal to 2 minus -1 is 3, because minus minus will be plus. 8 minus 4 is 4. 6P, we just have to multiply this vector P by 6. 6 times 2, 6 times 8. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 8 is 48. Now we need to find the magnitude of P minus Q. Okay, the rule is square root. We already have P minus Q, which is 3, 4. 3 squared plus 4 squared. 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 9 plus 16 is 25, and square root 25 is equal to 5. So this length or magnitude or absolute value is 5. Question 11. Find the value of P when 6 power P times 6 power 4 is equal to 6 power 28. There is a rule in multiplication, we add the powers. What does that mean? It means this P and this 4 are added up together and they made 28. In multiplication, when we have same basis, 6, 6, we add the powers. So P plus 4 is equal to 28. P plus 4 is 28. Minus 4, P is 24. So P is 24. Question 12. Anita cycles a distance of 70 kilometers from Midville to Newton. Leaving Midville, she cycles for 1 hour 30 minutes at a constant speed of 20 kilometers per hour and then stops for 30 minutes. Okay, the diagram we have, it has distance and time. So we cannot put speed on this grid. We just have to put distance and time. The time is 1 hour 30 minutes and the speed was 20 kilometers per hour. In order to find distance, we just multiply time by speed. Distance is equal to time multiplied by speed. So the time is 1 hour 30 minutes. We just need to write it as 1.5 hours. Multiply by 20, it's equal to 30. So the distance is 30 kilometers after 1 hour and a half, which is here. 1 hour and a half is here, and 30 kilometers It's right between 40 and 20. Okay, so we need to join the beginning of the journey to this point using a straight line, but in this software I don't have the straight line option. I just do it with my hand, and it's not pretty straight, but as a sketch it's fine. I suggest using ruler for such questions, but in this software I don't have a ruler and I don't have a straight line option. Okay, she took a rest for 30 minutes. So now we are at 1:30. After 30 minutes it will be 2 o'clock, or 2 hours, not 2 o'clock. So that's it. This is the rest time. After that, she then continues the journey to Newton at a constant speed of 16 km per hour. She already passed 30 kilometers and Newton is 70 kilometers away, so what's remaining is 40 kilometers. And she is going at the speed 16 kilometer per hour. So we divide 40 by 16. See how long does it take? This 40 is the distance, the 16 kilometer per hour is speed. So if we divide distance by speed, we will get time. It takes 2 hours and a half. So we are at 2 o'clock. After 2 hours and a half, it will be 4 and a half. 4 hours and a half. And we know Newton is 70 kilometers away. So yeah, at this point. Now we just have to join this and using a straight line to here, and this is the diagram. That was part A. Part B, calculate the average speed for the whole journey. Calculating average speed means we need to use the total distance and the total time taken to find average speed. So total distance is 70 kilometers. The rule of speed is equal to distance divided by time, and total distance is 70 kilometers. Total time taken is 4 hours and a half. So 70 divided 4.5 is equal to 15.5 repeating. 15.5 repeating. So it takes 15 point. The question paper on the cover page, it says give every non-exact answer to 3 significant figures. And to write this to 3 significant figures, that's 1, 2, 3. 15.6, because 15.5 repeating is equal to 15.5555 forever. 3 significant is here. The next digit is 5 or above, so it makes this 5, 6. Without using a calculator, work out 4, 1/8 minus 2, 5/6. Okay, without using calculator, they mean show the steps, because using calculator you can do this like a snip. But let's do it. 4 1/8 is equal to 4 times 8, 32 plus 1, 33/8. On the other hand, 2 5/6 is equal to 6 times 2, 12 plus 5, 17/6. Now we have these two fractions to subtract. The common denominator for 8 and 6 is 24 times 3 times 4. 33 times 3 is 99. 17 times 4, 68. Subtract 99 minus 68 is 31 over 24, and you must show all your working and give your answer as mixed number. This number, this is an improper fraction. 31 over 24. So if we press shift and this, we will get the answer as mixed number, 7 over 24. Or we can say, how many 24s are there in 31? There is only one 24 in 31. What's remaining from 31 if we take out 24? 7 remaining. Same answer. But if calculator is allowed, due to time, we need to use it to save time. Carlos invests $4,540 at a rate of R per year compound interest. At the end of 10 years, he earns 1,328.54 in interest. The interest is this much. Only the profit is this much. Calculate the value of R. Okay, for compound interest, we have a rule which is like this. The initial amount of money which is invested multiplied by 1 plus, because the money increased, we write 1 plus. If it's decreased, we write minus. R over 100 power number of years, which is 10, and we know the result, 1328.54. 1328.54 plus 4540, because the result of this rule is the total, the initial amount of money which is invested plus the amount of interest. That's 5868. Okay, we just have to find R. It's an equation. If it's not equation, we cannot solve. If you don't make equation, you can't find the missing term. Okay, now to get rid of this 4540, we divide this side by this number. So 1 plus R over 100 power 10 is equal to, for now let's just write 5868.54 over 4540. Now we take the root, 10th root, at this side. The root cancels the power. This side has no problem. They are all numbers, no problem. We keep them. Now what's remaining is 1 plus R over 100 equal to this number. So R is equal to this number minus 1 times 100. Ten 5868.54. I didn't work this side out to avoid rounding. I just keep it exact. 40. To remove this one, we write here minus 1. And to remove this 100 under the R, we multiply this whole side by 100. Now it's time to put this in calculator and find the value of R. And we try to write it the same exactly. Firstly, there is a bracket, then there's root. If we press shift and this, we can enter the 10, and under the root there is a fraction. At the numerator we have 5868.54, and at the denominator we have 4540. Then outside the root, it's still under the root, we don't want this. Press next, and then minus 1, close the bracket, times 100. So R is 2.6. 2.6. This is R. Let's check our R. We write this, writing 2.6 in place of R, and see will we get 5868 or something too close. Let's check. 4540 multiply by 1 plus fraction 2.6 over 100. Close the bracket, power 10. Yeah, 5868, 53, and it's rounded 54. So this value of R is correct. 3 marks. Find the highest common factor of 12a cubed b and 20a squared b squared. Okay, let's break down the steps. Firstly, we work on numbers. For the numbers 12 and 20, the highest common factor is 4. 4 is the largest number that can divide 4 and 20. For a cubed and a squared is the highest common factor. And for b and b squared, b is the highest common factor. So the answer for a squared b. Question 16. The Venn diagram shows the number of students in a class of 40 who study physics, P, mathematics, M, and geography, G. Okay. Use the set notation to describe the shaded region. Okay. This shaded region, of course, there's M union G, because M and G are both shaded. So there is M union G. Then M union G intersection with P prime. We can give brackets here. M union G is this full circle and this full circle. That's just M union G. Now P prime, I'm going to shade P prime with orange. P prime is everywhere except the circle P. Everywhere except P. Okay. Now what can connect the orange region and the green region to have only the gray region? It's intersection. Intersection takes only the common regions that are shaded twice. So we have only inside these gray region, this region is shaded twice with green and with orange. So this will go into intersection. So the answer is M union G intersection P prime. These two together then intersection P prime. Now find number of data in P intersection G, then union M prime. Okay, for a big union problem like this, you see the notation and the sets together. When there's union, we try to shade this and shade this. At the end, the total shaded region is the answer. Now, P intersection G. P intersection G is this much. M prime. M prime is everywhere except M. So M prime is like this, everywhere except the circle M. Now, since it's union between the blue marked region and the orange marked region, it's union between them, it means the whole shaded area is the answer, but we need to find number of elements in this whole shaded area. Let's count them. This orange part, it's in the union. These are not in the union. So what's in the union is 4 plus 3, 7, plus 9, 16, plus 6, 22. So this answer is 22. A student is chosen at random from the studying geography. From those who study geography, a student is chosen at random. Find the probability that this student also studies physics or mathematics, but not both. Okay. So we are going to choose a student from geography. Let's find the total of geography because this will be the denominator for the probability fraction. 3 plus 5, 8, plus 9, 17, plus 6, 23. So total is 23. This 23 will be denominator of the probability fraction. Now we want a student who's in geography studying physics. That's 3 out of 23. There is or between physics and mathematics. Physics or mathematics. In probability, or means plus. Mathematics is 5 out of 23. Together is 8 out of 23. This 9 is ignored because the question says not both. We want someone who studied geography and physics, someone who studied geography and math. So 3 plus 5 is 8 out of 23. Yeah. 8 out of 23. Sketch the graph of y equals sine x for 0 to 360. Okay, you can either memorize the graph of sine, it's like this, or you can use calculator and follow the float graph. Sine of 0 using calculator, sine of 0 is 0, so it means we have a point 0, 0. And for sine, cosine, and tan, we always go by 90 or pi over 2. So after 0, I test for 90. Sine of 90 is equal to 1. So from 0 to 360 is until here. Halfway is 180. And halfway from 180 to 0 is 90. We have another point here. Sine of 180 is 0. You can use calculator to find these numbers. We have another point here. Between 180 and 360, there is a number, it's 270. So sine 270 is -1. So we have a point here opposite -1 and 270. And finally, sine 360 is 0. We join them with curves, not with straight lines. This is the graph. If you don't memorize, you can follow this way, even if it's not y equals sine x like this. If it's y equals 3 sine 2x, sine x squared, anyhow, you can find the graph by going by pi over 2 or 90. Solve the equation. Solving trigonometric equations, we try to have sine x alone on one side of the equation, numbers on the other side. So this is our target, to have sine alone. So in order to do this, we say -1 to both sides. We will have 3 sine x equal to -1. Now get rid of this 3, divide 3. So sine x is -1/3. Now we have sine x alone on one side, doesn't matter left side or right side. Now we grab the calculator, write shift and sine inverse. This -1 is indicating that we are dealing with sine inverse, not a normal sine. Now fraction, -1/3, close the bracket. The answer is -19.47122. But on the cover page it says for angles, write 1 decimal place. So 1 decimal place, this 4 will be 5, 19.5, -19.5. Why we have another possible answer while we don't see it in the calculator? Because sine is a harmonic function. So two angles, when they add up to 180, their signs are equal. Now we need a number. When we add it to -19.5, it's equal to 180. This number is 180 plus 19.5, 199.5. So the other possible answer is 199.5. Before we move to the next question, let's check our answer. Sine -19.5 is equal to this, -0.3338. Now let's see sine. Let's write this somewhere. -0.3338, after the 8, 6. Let's check sine 199.5. Sine 199.5. It is the same. So there are two possible answers. Look, -0.33380685 and the rest, it's the same. That's why we have two possible answers. And for sine, these two answers must add up to 180. A. Y is directly proportional to cube root of x plus 1. Y is directly proportional, so y is equal to k cubic root x plus 1. Y is directly proportional to cubic root of x plus 1. That's how we write it in symbols, not in words. Now we replace x by 7, y by 1 to find the value of k, and later we write the value of k and the value of x, we will find y. Now 1 is equal to k cubic root 7 plus 1. 7 plus 1 is 8. Cubic root of 8 is 2. So 1 is equal to 2k. Divide 2, so 1 over 2 is equal to k. Now we know the value of k, 1 over 2 or 0.5, which one you find it easier for your case. Now x is 124. We need to find y. Y is equal to, we already know k, it's 1 over 2, and cubic root of, we have x plus 1. 124 is x plus 1, 125. Now this side is only numbers. We can just do it by calculator. Fraction 1 over 2 times cubic root 125. It's equal to 2.5. Easy 3 marks. F is inversely proportional to the square of D. So F is equal to k d squared. Explain what happens to F when D is halved. Okay. F is still directly proportional to D squared. So F is equal to k. Half of D is D over 2. And there's still, explain what happens to F when D is halved. So it's D over 2 squared. F is directly proportional to D. If D is halved, F is directly proportional to D over 2. Now, if we give this power to both, we will have F equal k d squared over 4. If we have this over 4, we can see it's divided by 4. Look at F. F was equal to kd squared. Now F is equal to kd squared over 4. So it will be divided by 4. What happens to F? It will be divided by 4. Now we have F, G, and H, 3 equations, 3 functions. Find F inverse. To find F inverse, we follow 3 steps. Step 1, write y instead of fx. So y is equal to 7x minus 8. Step 2, replace x by y. X is equal to 7y minus 8. Step 3, try to make y the subject again. Okay, in order to make this y the subject, we need to get rid of this minus 8. So plus 8 plus 8, it will be x plus 8. X plus 8 is equal to 7y. Get rid of the 7. So x plus 8 over 7 is equal to y. Now y is the subject again. The side is F inverse. X plus 8 over 7. Find the value of x when hx is equal to g1 over 3. The side has a number, g1 over 3. We can find this. G, we can easily find this. We just replace x by 1 over 3. G is g of 1 over 3. Let's write it properly. g of 1 over 3 is equal to 4 over 1 over 3 plus 5. These are all numbers. We can do it by calculator. Fraction 4, or let's use division, 4 divide 1 over 3 plus 5. That's 17. So all you have to do, solve hx equals 17. We got this from g1 over 3. Now hx is 2 power x plus 1 equal to 17. Now minus 1, 2 power x is equal to 16. It means x is 4 because 2 power 4 is equal to 16. Yeah, so x is equal to 4. Factorize completely. Okay, for the terms containing m, 2m, 8km, for the 2 and 8, 2 is common, and for the letters m is common. What's remaining? This 2m, 1 remaining. 8, if we take 2 as common factor, -4 is remaining, and k. To quickly check your answer, if we multiply 2m by inside, 2m times 1 is 2m, 2m times -4 is -8mk. So this bracket is right. The other terms, we have 3p -12kp. If I write here plus, for 3 and 12, 3 is a common factor, p is common. See what's remaining. 3p is completely out, 1 is remaining instead. This term is negative, I write minus. 12 divided 3 is 4, p is out, k is remaining. Now the question says factorize completely. Factorize completely means you have 2 brackets or more, but between the brackets must be only multiplication. But here there is a plus between the 2 brackets, so it's not completely factorized. We need one more step. Now I see this bracket, it's common, it's in both terms. So I'm going to take this bracket out. I consider the common term, and what's remaining from here is 2m. What's remaining from him is 3p. Now it's completely factorized because we have 2 brackets and there is nothing between them in multiplication. Part B, I see x squared, I see y squared. Straight away I think about difference between 2 squares. But before I go to this, I need to take something common from the numbers. From 5 and 20, 5 is a common factor. What's remaining is x squared minus 4y squared. Now I'm sure I need to use difference between 2 squares because 4 is a square number and each of x and y are squares. Between them is minus. So if I write this as one term with power 2, I rewrite like this: x squared minus 2y squared. Now I have one term power 2, another term power 2, minus between them. I just do this 5. I write the 2 terms, once with minus, once with plus. X minus 2y, x plus 2y. Now I have 3 terms, and between the terms is only multiplication, nothing else. It's completely factorized. Question 21. The nth term of a sequence is an squared plus bn minus 4. The first term is -3, the second term is 2. For the first term, I replace n by 1. For the second term, I replace n by 2. I'm going to get two equations. Okay, if I replace n by 1, I will get a 1 squared plus b 1 minus 4 equal to -3. Simplified, it's a plus b minus 4 equals -3. I got this equation from the first term, and for the second term I replace n by 2, so a2 squared plus b2 minus 4 equals 2. Simplify, 4a plus 2b minus 4 equals 2. Now I have this equation and this equation, two equations related to the same problem. I have to solve them simultaneously. And of course we can simplify them more. This -4, when it goes to the other side, becomes +4. With -3 it will be 1. So the first equation is a plus b equals 1. The second equation, this 4 goes to the other side, plus 2 will be 6. 4a plus 2b is equal to 6. Let's say this is the first equation. This equation is divisible by 2, so I do the division to make the equation simpler. So it will be 2a plus b equal to 3, and this is the second equation. Now I solve these simultaneously. I can solve them by calculator, but this question has 5 marks. That's why I suggest to do it algebraically, showing all the necessary steps. Now from this equation, I'm going to use substitution. In this equation, a is equal to 1 minus b, and I'm going to write 1 minus b in place of this a. So 2 times 1 minus b plus b is equal to 3. So 2 minus 2b plus b is equal to 3. Negative 2b plus b is negative b. And 3 minus 2 is 1. So b is -1. I found the value of b. I can put this value here to find a. A is equal to 1 minus -1. So a is equal to 2 -1. Before I move to the next question, I need to check my answer because this is a 5-mark question. I don't want to lose it. Okay, how can we do simultaneous in such calculators? You go to Mod, then Equations, number 5, and then X and Y, two variables. Press number 1. How do I enter equation 1 and equation 2 into this screen? I don't write A, B, X, or Y. I just write the coefficients of them. We have 1A, I just press 1, plus B means 1B, equal to 1. And for the second equation, we have 2a, so I write 2 equal plus b, 2a plus b, that's 1, and equal 3, this is the 3. The calculator will solve it in terms of x and y, but doesn't matter. Our equation is in a and b, we understand. X equal 2 means a equal 2. We got the answer right. Press equal again. Y equal -1 for our case means b is -1. So our both answers are right. Now let's move to the next question. Question 22, vectors. Direction is important in vectors. AO is in this way. OA is in this way. OA is x. So AO will be the opposite sign, -x. If we need AO, we write -x. OA is x. And so on for the rest. We change the sign if we go opposite of this arrow. We keep the same sign if we go same direction. Another thing is given here. AO is x, OB is y, OD. OD means going from O 2D, which is not on the diagram, but it's given. So let's put it on the diagram to know what we have later, because we will need OD. Now, calculate the ratio of AD in this direction, means going from A to D. If you want to go from A to D, you need to go from A to O and then O to D. And then DB, again, DB is this in this direction, DB. Okay, let's find AD and find DB, then look at them, what's the ratio between them. AD, in order to go from point A to point D, in vector questions, we can never go directly, we just go indirectly. From A we go to O, AO, it's the opposite direction, that's negative x, plus, from vector to vector we write plus between them. Now from A to O is negative x, from O to D is already given, OD is 3 over 7x plus 4 over 7y. Now this 4 over 7y is alone, it doesn't have any simplification, but negative x plus 3 over 7x could be simplified to one term. Go back to the normal mode. Okay, we consider this negative x as negative 1 plus 3 over 7x we consider it as just 3 over 7. We add the coefficients together. The result is negative 4 over 7. So AD in this direction, going from A to D, is equal to negative 4 over 7x plus 4 over 7y. Okay, that's 80. Now let's find dB. We need to see the diagram. dB. dB means going from D to B. So in order to do this, we go from D to O. Going from D to O, it will be DO, which is the opposite of this. So we change both signs. Now we are working on dB in this direction, going from D to B. It's equal to negative 3 over 7x plus, not plus, because we changed the sign, minus 4 over 7y. Okay, this is this way. Then after we reach O from D, from O we go to B. OB is y, so plus y. Now this x doesn't have any simplification, doesn't have any like term, it stays negative 3 over 7x, but negative 4 over 7y plus y, we do it like this. Fraction, negative 4 over 7 plus 1, it is equal to 3 over 7. So the 3 over 7 is positive, it means this will be plus 3 over 7y. Now look at this expression and look at this expression. X is the same, y is the same. The only difference, this one is 4 over 7, this one is 3 over 7. To write it as ratio, we write it first like this, 4 over 7 to 3 over 7. But ratios are just like fractions. We simplify and we need to give the answer into the simplest form. Fractions are not simple for ratio, so if we multiply them by 7, we will get 4 to 3. The ratio AD to BD is 4 to 3. The last question, it's a 3D shape. The diagram shows a solid metal shape made from a cone and a hemisphere, both with radius 6.2. The total surface area of the solid shape is 600 centimeters squared. Calculate the slant height, L. We need to find L. To find L, we need to find the surface area of the cone. To do this, we need to find the surface area of the hemisphere. This result minus 600, what's remaining is the surface area of the cone. Surface area of hemisphere is 4 pi r squared, which is 6.2 squared. Do this by calculator. 4 times pi times 6.2 squared is equal to 483.05. 483.05. I tried to not round every step. Now I want to subtract this from 600. 600 minus the previous answer, that's 116.9. So the curved surface area of the cone is 116.948. So pi RL, which is pi 6.2, L is missing, is equal to 116.948. I try to round the final answer, that's why I avoid rounding even in this step. I do the calculation in calculator. This number should be multiplied by divided by 6.2, and this number should be divided by pi as well to find L. Now this number we divided by 6.2 and then we divided by pi. Now this is the final answer, 6.004, and to write the answer to three significant figures, 1, 2, 3, it's just 6. So the slant height is just 6. L is equal to 6. There is a common mistake. Students are rounding all the three steps and the answer will be a little bit far from this. It will be 5.75 somehow, but the right way is to keep the answer as exact as possible, only round the final answer. That's what the cover page says. The answer is 6 and finished. This is the end of this tutorial. I hope you find it useful. Subscribe to see more videos like this. Never hesitate to write your question, comment your question. I'll try to make videos about your questions as soon as I can. Thank you for watching.